Good morning. It is Friday morning, a little bit after, but it's about 6:15 a.m. this morning. And I have been enlarged somewhat this morning with thoughts regarding the sovereignty of God, the kingship of Christ, the glory of Christ being preeminent in all things. And it has come powerfully to my mind this morning regarding this matter of both hearing and learning of the Father. And I'm back on my cell phone. I've tried to use my desktop computer, but it needs some software for streaming of videos to go on it. I don't know if the phone will keep up or not, or even if we can remain connected, but I must share this with you, if at all possible. I'm looking at John's Gospel, chapter 6, verse 44. It reads, "No man can come to me, except the Father which hath sent me draw him, and I will raise him up at the last day." Now these are the words of Christ himself. And he follows that by saying, "It is written in the prophets, and they shall be all taught of God. Every man therefore that hath heard and hath learned of the Father cometh unto me." Now that's found in Isaiah 54:13, and this is the very verse that Christ was quoting at that time. And verse 46 goes on to read, "Not that any man hath seen the Father, save he which is of God. He hath seen the Father." Now these are powerful verses. Verses, I confess, that for many years troubled me. I want to state the doctrine quickly, if I may, up front. It sounds like this. All of the Father's sons are taught of him to come to Christ. He calls them on purpose, teaching them to know what to do and to do what they know. Now, this is an amazing concept in today's modern world of free willism. But I hear my Jesus say, in contrast with all of the noise around me, that everyone who hath learned of the Father really does come to Christ. Everyone who hath learned of the Father really does come. And when I hear him say that, I'm mindful of a verse like Psalm 110, verse 3, "Thy people shall be made willing in the day of thy power." Who? Thy people. Now, let's look at this just for a moment. Jesus said, "No man can come to me." That in itself is very foreign to the ear of a proud man. When in fact it's not new. Jesus did say in John 3:3, "Except a man be born again, he cannot come." And then in John 3:27, John said, "A man can receive nothing except it be given him from heaven." And how about 1 Corinthians 2:14? "The natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God, neither can he know them." And yet some are brought to know. Even I submit those as Christ spoke of. Everyone that shall be taught of God, every one of those. Because everyone that hath heard and hath learned of the Father cometh unto me, even though they cannot see, and by their nature they cannot come. Which is why in John 5:40 he looked in the face of some and he said, "You will not come, that you might have life." And that because no man can come, which is what we just read in John 6:44. And it's even more than that. In John chapter 8, he said, ye cannot hear. And how about this? In John 12, they could not believe. Whoa. And is that not the reason why? He said, ye have not chosen me. As he looked at his disciples, he said, but I have chosen you. And then went on to say in John 15:19, I have chosen you out of the world. So then, therefore, this is not a new subject in this chapter. No man can come to me, as it is written in the prophets, and they shall be all taught of God. Well, if everyone who has learned has both heard, that is the voice of Christ, everyone who has heard and learned comes. Now, if everyone who has actually heard and learned of the Father comes, now everyone who does not come has certainly not so heard, neither so learned, because they have not been taught of the Father by the Lord Jesus Christ. Now, the good news is that there are therefore none who can both hear and learn of the Father and not come, because this is the promise even that Christ quoted here from Isaiah 54:13 in John chapter 6, verse 44. Let me say that again. Because these other things are true, there are of necessity then none who can both hear and learn of the Father and not come. No wonder Jesus could say what he said in John 6:37 when he said, all that the Father giveth me shall come to me. And him that cometh to me, I will in no man cast out. Now may the Lord be pleased to bless his word to your soul today. And you have a great day. Bye-bye.